Well, good afternoon, West Ham fans. Is Lucas Paqueta in contention for Monday? Let's talk about it. Yes, everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. David Moyes has literally just finished his press conference ahead of the Brentford game. And let's get straight into it. Obviously, it's Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. On a Friday, we take this slot to do the David Moyes press conference. So let's talk about it because it's a little bit surprising. We were led to believe that Lucas Paqueta, actually, no, I do that one. We were led to believe that Lucas Paqueta was actually not going to be around until at least another couple of weeks. And according to David Moyes, let's get straight into get the right slide. There we go. In terms of team news, he picked up some important injuries, important players in the last couple of months. We've had players away at AFCONs, but Lucas Paqueta is back in training and very close to returning. So that will give us a boost. He's in contention for Monday, and we'll have to see where he is. We had Mick back last week. We've had Mo back from the AFCON. So it's good that we're getting most of the squad back together. So it could be a case of a fully fit squad in times for the Brentford game. Whether he'll risk playing Paqueta, I don't know. I think he will if he has to. Obviously, 3 defeats that you kind of to spite your face if he comes back and he's too early. We've been led to believe by his girlfriend that he's been fit for ages. But yes, he is apparently going to be available. He's in contention for Monday, so he could be on maybe in the. I suppose with Calvin Phillips out as well. Being suspended, that might mean that we can. I don't know. It's a bit of a surprise. I mean, we don't usually get surprises at these things. Obviously, we've just had the Europa League draw. Asked about the Freiburg draw, probably not one of the least exciting. We'd all pumped up to go to Rome or Milan, and we end up going to Germany, obviously, but we couldn't play there. Obviously, the fans weren't there last time. We were banned, weren't we? The manager's done a great job at Freiburg. He's had a great length of time at one club. We're looking forward to going back and playing them again, having obviously beaten them twice already this season. Asked that makes things easier. He said, I don't think it makes anything easier. The group was very tight. The games were very close. I don't see a huge difference. There are some huge teams in the competition, top of the English league, top of the German league. So you want to avoid them. But it is a tough game. And it will be a tough game. Obviously, the first tie being away in Freiburg at the Europa Stadium. We've done a whole thing about it in terms of, a bit more information. Because it was a while ago we played it. It was like December time, weren't it? So just to sort of get your memories back about Freiburg. Possibly. And to be fair, we've always, when it comes to like the draws for the group stages of Europa League and of the Conference Leagues runs, we've never had a really exciting tie. I mean, Olympiacos would have been probably our biggest group a group sort of stage match we probably had really in terms of European pedigree. And I was dreaming of AC Milan. I was dreaming of Rome. I was 10,000 West Ham fans in the Colosseum. You could have just imagined it. But we've got Freiburg, and we'll get to that and see what happens. He was asked, obviously, a lot of the questions were around European football and stuff like that, and asked whether it could help. Maybe kickstart this calendar year. And in terms of his response to that, he said, we've always known that we've got European football after Christmas. It's the 3rd year in a row we've had it. We've had a brilliant 3 years in Europe, and we want this one to be as good as well. And indeed, obviously if we do beat Freiburg in the 2 legs, get through to the quarterfinals. It's a semi, a final, and a quarterfinal. That ain't too bad in terms of Europe, really, in all honesty. And obviously we've had obviously because of Europe, because we obviously could park that until March, in essence, it was another full week. another full week, or over a full week, really, in terms of preparation for the game on Monday, and asked about just that, having that sort of full week training behind him rather than necessarily Thursday, Sunday, which we'll probably get used to in a few weeks' time. He said, I hope it keeps busy towards the end of the season, because that will mean we've got more European football. But it's been good to have a full week on the training ground, and hopefully everyone is fresh and ready to go on Monday. And that word, everyone is fresh and ready to go on Monday. And obviously we know that Lucas Paqueta will he's in contention for the squad on Monday. We know he has a squad almost fully available to him, the only exception being Calvin, obviously, who was what's the word, sent off. That's the word. He was actually asked specifically about Calvin, which we'll get to in a minute. Asked about Brentford. Obviously, it's important to talk about Brentford because we are playing them on Monday. He says they've always been a really tough opponent. Thomas Frank has done a really good job, but they're quite a few points above. We're quite a few points above them, so he must be doing something right. He's twisting the knife today, isn't he? He is definitely twisting the knife. We've got European football. We're doing really well in Europe. We had it over Christmas. We knew that was coming. We've got more points than Brentford, and so we must be doing something right. Yeah. He's on the charm offensive, isn't he? Really, or so much so, or definitely on the front foot. Obviously, we come up against Ivor Toney, back from his suspension, and obviously critical to Brentford. Asked about Ivor, he said, "I've seen the games that Toney's played. He's played really well. Big player for them. I've been impressed by his performances, by his footballing intellect." Missed a lot of football, but he's come back in great condition. He really has. He really has. And obviously, we play on a Monday night football. It doesn't happen very often at West Ham, does it? It's usually the Sunday 2:00, which are very annoying. But we play on Monday night, and asked whether there was any difference in terms of that. It's just, I think everybody's used to football on different days, and that's the norm now. The hardest thing is when you play Thursday, Sunday, but Monday night we'll play and we'll get on it and we'll get on with it. There we go. We'll get on with it. Okay. Thanks, David. And obviously, we'll then, after that, we've got the Everton game. Is Everton after that? Then after that, we've got Freiburg. And then obviously, and we're back to Thursday, Sundays again. Thursday, Sundays. As I said, he was asked about Calvin Phillips in terms of how's Calvin getting on. Obviously, it's relatively early on. He hasn't had a great start to his time at West Ham. Maybe some green shoots in that last game before he got sent off, of course. Asked about Calvin and how he's cracking on there. He says he's doing really well in training. I thought the sending off at Forest was really close to being harsh. Well, he did that because he was frustrated, that first one. And I think actually shows a bit of a bit of fight. I thought that first one was a bit of fight, and that's what we need at West Ham. We need a bit of fight. Anyway, so. What do you think? Lucas Paqueta in contention for the game on Monday. Bit of maybe a surprise, maybe a week or so ahead of schedule, 2 weeks ahead of schedule. 4 to 6 we were given last week. Don't know how I feel about that. But for him to say, that's the thing, when he says stuff, when he doesn't say stuff, you go, but for him to say it, it's like, it's... I would have probably kept that one under wraps, in all honesty. I wouldn't have mentioned about Lucas Paqueta and saying he's, we don't know, touch and go. But to say you're in contention, we'll wait and see. Keep an eye on the channel. We have Irish Tommy on tonight doing the Late Late Show as per usual. And take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my friends. Don't forget to check out kneesatmybrand.com for the latest news, reviews, and opinions. And we'll see you over the weekend for a few bits and bobs. And then get ready for Brentford on Monday. Take care. Much love. Bye-bye.